founding father, better understood the U.S. Constitution's careful power balance between the federal government and the authority of state government than James Madison. It is with that in mind that we welcome the Honorable Tim Kaine, Governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia. He is the 70th individual to be Chief Executive of the state. He is also the first governor to be inaugurated at the colonial capital in Williamsburg since a man named Thomas Jefferson was governor of the Commonwealth. Always with pleasure, I present Governor Kaine.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you all. It is a great day to be a Virginian. Fortune and fate are smiling on us today with the weather so beautiful at this powerful occasion. I want to offer my congratulations and thanks to the Montpelier Foundation and to the National Trust for this very visionary, challenging project. How well it has worked out, and generations of Virginia stand in your debt because they will learn so much from this. It is a delight to be here with so many elected officials and other dignitaries, especially our keynote speaker, Chief Justice Roberts, who we will hear from in a few minutes. I want to offer just a few thoughts about why we love James Madison. And I want to talk about an achievement, a thought, and a character trait. An achievement, father of the Constitution. I'm sure Chief Justice Roberts will focus on this, so I will only refer to it briefly. But what a truly remarkable title Father of the Constitution is. It was not a title that President Madison embraced until the very end of his life. He always talked about the Constitution as a joint project. And yet, what a remarkable thing. When I was a young man, I lived in a country that was a military dictatorship and had the opportunity to learn about what it's like to live in a place where the protections that we take for granted under a constitutional form of government do not exist. When society moves from the whim of the ruler to majority rule, that was a huge step forward for civilization. And yet majorities can be tyrants against ethnic minorities or racial minorities or religious minorities. And so the essence of constitutionalism is not just the protection of majority rule, but also the protection of the rights of minorities. Father of the Constitution, what a tremendous achievement can be rightfully claimed by James Madison. A thought. James Madison wrote what is the single most powerful piece of political science or political scholarship that has ever been written by an American, Federalist Paper number 10. In that paper, James Madison laid out an ideal that has come to characterize American politics, and that is, we are a collection of interest groups, factions, political parties. We're pluralists. The notion of pluralism as a driving political philosophy was articulated by James Madison in Federalist Paper number 10. And through the years, whether it was de Tocqueville recognizing that feature of American life when he visited America in the 1820s, or the famous statement of the first President Bush that we're 1,000 points of light, the notion of America as a pluralistic nation of nonprofit organizations and political parties and factions all working together to guard against tyranny, either the tyranny of an oligarchy or the tyranny of a majority, is a powerful bit of contribution to who we are in politics. And finally, a character trait. James Madison was someone who could change his mind. In the words of today, James Madison was a flip-flopper, folks. He was a flip-flopper. James Madison was against the notion of having a Bill of Rights in the Constitution. He worked with the ratification of the Constitution in Virginia and opposed, for some practical reasons, the inclusion of a Bill of Rights. But he changed his mind, and thank God for that. He realized that the Constitution would not be approved without a Bill of Rights nationally. But he also learned from life experience, from Baptists right in his neighborhood who were being persecuted because they were not of the majority religion, that there had to be a Bill of Rights that protected the rights of minorities. I hope we all can wake up tomorrow smarter than we are today and realize sometimes that changing your mind or flip-flopping is a wonderful thing. So, an achievement, a character trait, and a thought, those are things we celebrate James Madison for. I only have one problem with James Madison. He was too willing to give up Virginia's claims on the Northwest Territories, which were legal claims all the way into Minnesota. We would have well over 100 electoral votes right now had he not been so gracious. But we all make mistakes in this line of work. Nevertheless, this is a wonderful day to reclaim a spectacular public servant and tell his story for generations to come. Congratulations, and thank you all.